Just to test my mic. I look like a news reporter. Welcome back to my channel, guys. And you can see my setup is a little different tonight or today, whenever you're watching. Tonight my video is going to be a little different compared to my other videos. I was editing a video for my YouTube, and then I got this screenshot from a friend regarding some Facebook news which he thought I should have been aware of, and rightly so. So I went through the news and I saw that this brand LEVIS have incorporated a MIZO PHEE pattern into their new designs, and so it was quite a controversy, especially in the Facebook page where it was posted. It was a MIZO Facebook page, and so there was a lot of controversy behind it. Some people were very shocked by the step that LEVIS had taken, and some people didn't think it was a big deal. And when I went through the post, I saw it and I thought it was I realized it was a very big deal. It's just that it's not captured in the way it should have been, and I am no expert in this. I just have a little academic background, and that's it. In the description box I've mentioned all the sources that I've taken for any facts that I'm stating here. Zena kan video tour hi kan brand soi tak LEVIS kai noi khani dona mitam thiang berina kan shat thiam theinan saprongin karon ti dona hi kimani MIZO PHEE kai noi ma ni se a issue hi MIZO issue chaw ni lova ke mani culture te kan ti ho khovela culture te kan ti ho ina I kan disadvantage nei ve ni a he thil hi fashion na chuanin thil common ve takani a chuwangin kan sha thiam tlan nan kini MIZO ba ka northeast mi sang ina kan lo sha thiam zel zok na turin hemi big hi chu MIZO issue mani se saptrongin kalo tidona ni. So first things first, what was the issue? So this guy, I have the picture here, posted a picture of a shirt from Mintra, the fashion brand app, and a similar shirt which is our traditional DHANGCHHUAH color. If you can see the similarity between both the shirts, and traditionally MIZO men wore no shirt, wrap around, and a DHANGCHHUAH DIAR, which is a scarf wrapped around the head and tied on the side. That DIAR has this pattern on it, and because men do not have any modern day silhouette, that DIAR's pattern is now transferred into a shirt which is now culturally accepted as the traditional attire for men. This is the shirt. You can see that the pattern is quite similar, and DHANGCHHUAH DIAR or the DHANGCHHUAH core, which is the shirt, is traditionally hand woven. Most of the textiles we have in our state is hand woven. So the characteristics of the PHEE is that it has a black base and it's striped with red, white, yellow and green here. But in the olden days we just had black base with red and white. And then as the years passed and with more access to dyes, we started incorporating the other colors, and so this is what we see today. Now this is sold for around rupees 500 to 700, My dad had bought this for around that much, and the shirts here that we see are all above 1000. And so when I saw this post, I wanted to fact check, so I went to the LEVIS website, where I did see the shirt, and this is how it looked. So they have it in the description. They wrote that it is made in India, or Bangalore, I'm not sure, but it was a claim that it was made in India, and that was it. So in LEVIS's website, I could see that it was long sleeve. I didn't see the short sleeve ones, but then I browsed through the net and I saw the short sleeved one in Flipkart as well, apart from Myntra. So it did exist. So the original post talks about the need to patent the design or the pattern. Now there is a problem in this. First of all, we cannot patent traditional designs like this because, one, there is no single designer who came up with this. So it's a common design which existed in the past, and hence the design is a collective property. It doesn't belong to an individual. Which brings me to my second point. Textile designs which traditionally belong to a culture can be protected under the geographical indication tag. Now, what is geographical indication? I'm gonna read this out straight from the text where I got the source from. When we were studying fashion in NIFT, we had this subject called intellectual property rights. So that's when I got really interested in IPR. I am no expert in it, but I do know the few that is required to protect my designs. And so we used to learn about copyright, patenting, geographical indication, and other small protections that you need as a designer. And GI is one such tag which is not presented to an individual designer, but is given to people belonging to a particular geography. So here it says, a geographical indication is a sign used on products that have a specific geographic origin and includes the qualities and reputation of the origin. A geographical indication is given mainly to agricultural, natural, manufactured handicraft arising from a certain geographical area. Now, the manufactured goods have to be either produced or processed or prepared in that territory, which is clearly not the case for this shirt. It should have a special quality or reputation or other characteristics. The manufactured goods should be produced or processed or prepared in that territory. It should have a special quality or reputation or other characteristics. Now, when an unauthorized user uses a geographical indication, it misleads the public into believing that that item belongs to that particular place, when in reality the designers or the producers have made no such effort. So when the use of another geographical indication results in false representation to the public that goods originate in a territory in respect of which the registered geographical indication relates. So currently Mizoram owns 6 GIs, out of which 1 is for the Mizo chili and 5 are for different textile designs, and the said THANGCHHUAH DIAR or core design, this is not a part of the geographical indication tag that we earned. So technically we cannot sue the brand or do anything against or file any complaint against it as of now. But all that said and done, this case still does not seem quite right. Although it's difficult to call this design an infringement of any IPR, it does pass off as a horrendous crime. That is of cultural appropriation, and that is what this video is about. Now, what is cultural appropriation? Cultural and legal scholars alike have written about the meaning of cultural appropriation, which comes down to this basic definition. Cultural appropriation is something that happens when a person or a group of a certain culture, which is the appropriator, takes certain tangible or intangible objects, which are the cultural products, from a different culture. So there is a lot to read about cultural appropriation on the net. There are plenty of cases on it, so I will be giving some of the links in the description. And the complexities of cultural appropriation are difficult to comprehend. But one thing is for sure, when you put something where it doesn't belong, it doesn't fit. Cultural appropriation in fashion is a very, very common phenomenon. We have been seeing it for decades, especially when it's the fashion weeks. They are always followed by controversies. Cultural appropriation in fashion is a very, very common phenomenon. Fashion weeks are always followed by controversies around the issues, because designers and all these brands who have been inspired by these cultures, which are not their own, they have time and again failed to give due credits. And the communities from whom these brands borrow the designs risk losing out financially, because something that once belonged to them is now a public property. So this means cultural appropriation in fashion, it commercializes the years of traditional knowledge that the particular community have, and the cultural heritage is made into just another fad in the market. Tribes belonging to Native America, Africa, Asia, and other indigenous communities have always been the most prone to cultural appropriation. This also reminds me of the recent case that happened when our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, wore a Manipuri scarf. Modi ji is known for his statement scarves as of late. He has always been fashion forward. So when he wore what is known as LEIROOM PHEE, which belongs to the Métis of Manipur, the gesture was welcomed, but well, not only welcomed, it was almost appreciated, because he had brought forward like a traditional attire to the nation. But it caused a backlash later on, because after a few days of the public show, weavers in Uttar Pradesh's Barambaki started mass producing the scarves. And the scarf is traditionally hand woven, so these weavers in UP, they had made it with power loom, and they were selling it at a very low price, and they named the scarf as Modi Gamusa or Modi Gamcha. So it really offended the people of Manipur. And so how was this case solved? In this matter, the Directorate of Handloom and Textiles Manipur had written a letter to the Development Commissioner of the Union Ministry of Textiles requesting their intervention into the production. So they also started to immediately apply for the GI. To claim any GI or any intellectual property rights, the product needs to be unique enough. Like, it had to be differentiated from other products that were existing. And also it helps when it has a cultural history, like which can be traced and then which proves its origin. So the question now arises if this is unique enough. And for me, even if I just see this shirt as it is, and then I see the post and then I see the Levi's shirts, it immediately reminds me of this shirt. So it's unique enough for me. But what about for people who are not related to the culture? I really want to know if it makes any difference to you. Like, does seeing the Levi's shirt remind you of this? Now that I've shown you this, has it made any impact on you? If it did or if it didn't, please let me know. So as of now, what's the immediate thing that we can do? Like, what is the solution? Practically, the only thing we can fight for at this hour is to ask for LEVIS to acknowledge that the design is inspired from the Thangchhua core of Mizoram. And an apology to the Mizos who have been hurt by the commercialization of their textile would be appreciated. Chuanin Mizo tana kan riak dan to chu tun din muna hianin kan puan tianga an lo tlang zar ta ke ma ni credit min pek si lava Mizoram ming lang si lawa mo Mizo ming lang si lava an han chwa ta ka hianin ke ni ning tin nge hemi chung chang han kan lo riak dan tur kan ti chuanin hemi chung chang a hianin he kan puan zia ania kan tingam tur ani kan claim ngam tur ani e ma ni kan hwai tok lo chuanin chet ngai na om lawa ma se chung a chuanin he kanin shat thiam ton na ponga ya achan chu kan soi tong khanin lawfully hemi law anga chuanin engma rights kan nei lawa ni tuna chuan aziak dana chuan rights kan nei lawa amai ro chu kan ti the chhun chu hetianga kan au chwa pui hi kan ti the ani a chuanin comment than khata khan Facebook post comment than khata khan Mizo designers tena puan kan man bor ban wang ani hi ti ang zonga ron comment ti khan oma kha chu ke chuan adik lo pul wa ka ti a kan Mizo designers tena ki mani puan an man hianin I puan value kan ba dan nia manga kan ngai tla ta hi ngai dan dik lo ani a I tiktak chuanin puan te chu nal kan ti in moi kan ti emema kan nam tang chan ten movie sen ti wanga an mang thrin an ni a that being said kan man dan ro chu ni etlemin amoi theng beram man za theng beram man le enge amoi nai ve amoi nai chen zo ve a he chu kan in shat thiam to na nga ya kini ponin kan ziranga ya textile shimshimi a promote tu tur hi kini ba kanom lava chu wangin designer te hian mangwarela amai ro chu kan nei sa original la kan nei sa big takin GI ya kan register to kan pon che te ngo te kher te mar am te pondum te hetiang hi chu thesham chuanin khoi borban lo chu thabera tiang ba ka hianin kini hianin kan creativity hi kan explore theya kan motifs nei sa te mo kan zia nei sa Mizo wina textile zia kan nei sa te hi I man pon design mangin kan ta te thera kan I hetiang issue lo thlen hianin in rirute angzonga rirute dewa infui ain kan creativity level kha push nan mangzo kela mo I try in ti kan tum don ya. And I want to end this video by asking you, is the resemblance of the shirt and the puan uncanny to you? Do you think the design is unique enough to be recognized as belonging to one culture's alone? Number 2, how can we bring LEVIS's notice to this matter? I really want to know, and I really hope that this video has in a way made you think more about how we exploit cultures that do not belong to us and how we need to rethink about our role in culture appropriating. So do let me know in the comments section, and then let's see how we can follow up.